Hello, hello. Been a long time coming. I have literally 30 minutes to get ready. We're gonna see if I can do this in 30 minutes. So I'm gonna do my best to make it through. This is the first time in a long time that I have did anything to my hair or any makeup or anything like that. And I'm gonna also do a pregnancy update. Yes, I'm pregnant. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Um, the past 5 weeks have been a roller coaster to say the most. Okay. So I do put a little music. Excuse my background. I have not been able to finish my office. But yes, I wanted to get started with doing my eyebrows first. Where's my mirror? Oh, okay, here it goes. It's pretty dirty, but we're gonna make use of it. Yeah, we just wanted it to be some background music. Not too loud. So, for some reason, hold on. So a week after I found out that I was pregnant, I got pretty ill for about 12 days at the worst. And I would say for the past week, I've been much better. I was dealing with extreme nausea, extreme nausea, way more extreme than I dealt with my last pregnancy, or my last 2 pregnancies, I would say. So bad that I was basically bedbound, could barely walk because I did not have any energy. And anytime I would try to eat or drink something, it would come right up. And even before I could even get a chance to attempt to eat or drink that thing, stomach fluids would come up. During this time, I went to the hospital. I went to the hospital 2 times because I wasn't gonna keep going to the hospital racking up a bill. But the first time I went, because I thought that I might have had like a kidney infection or something like that, I didn't. I just was dehydrated. They really didn't do anything for that appointment, and that was before it got so extreme that I couldn't get out of bed. Which most people like to downplay, the nausea and stuff, like, oh, as normal. It's a part of pregnancy, but I've been pregnant. This will be my third time, and this was the most severe in my entire life, to the point where I thought that I was gonna be out of here, like literally out of here. And some of y'all may have seen the video that I posted that was like towards the ending of me being sick, where, you know, I realized a lot of things and realized that, you know, during that time I should have been praying for myself, you know, to get better and things like that. So fast forward, I have been feeling better, still dealing with nausea and some mild vomiting. But due to that time of me being sick, my job decided to not be understanding to that, because they basically wanted me to go to the doctor, get a doctor's note for every day that I was missing. And let's be realistic. Let's be honest. That is not it's not realistic for somebody that does not have insurance or the money to keep going to the doctor like that. Where is so that left me with the option of, okay, well, mind you, they ended up giving me 3 write-ups for missing those days. Okay. And it got to a point where I had to decide, am I going to let them fire me? Which, per them and their policy, it would not have been a wrongful termination. So there would have been nothing that I could really do about that. So it's like, either let them fire me and this be something that is held against me for any future cosmetology jobs that I attempt to do, which, you know, a part of one of my goals is to become a cosmetology instructor. Where's the music? Is to become a cosmetology instructor, and I did not want that being my last position, them being reached out to, for them to say that I was terminated for attendance problems, attendance reasons. So, and I was still at the time, like, literally just got to the point where I was able to eat something. I was able to have electrolytes. I was able to, you know, try and keep some things down. So yeah, that was the battle. Let's see if this is gonna. That became the dilemma, to decide, you know, what the next thing was going to be, because they could have easily claimed that I was not performing my duties, which I was not really able to properly at that time. And I realized that, which I should have been realized, but I realized that if you're not you know, everybody's replaceable. So that became our reality. Um, Finally had my first OB appointment last Monday. No, this Monday. Can't remember. Finally had my OB appointment Monday. Was able to see a doctor. Was able to see the baby. And the baby's heart rate was at 174, which is pretty high. I don't know why. If hopefully that works. This is like a temporary. I know we ain't really supporting this brand, but it was already paid for. It's called Milton Spray. So anyhow, I was able to listen to baby's heart rate at home, which was very nice to finally hear it for the first time. Jesus. Come on now. But yeah. So in about 2 more weeks, we will finally be in the second trimester, and I'm praying for better days when it comes to that, to get over all of this nausea and crap like that. So in the meantime, I've just been getting closer to God and staying in my word, being obedient to what he tells me to do and not do, and doing my best to not question it. Anytime before, I would question it or confuse it with me overthinking, but I have gotten so much better and a better understanding of how that works and the persistency of God, because it doesn't change. It's not something that is like confused. There's no confusion when it comes to what he wants you to do and what he tells you to do. And I should know, because y'all will see the video. I've been made the video the day that I found that I was pregnant, but I was sharing the reasons I thought that I was pregnant and how we led up to that, because prior to a few weeks before all of this happened, God told me to get rid of a lot of stuff that was in my house, to give it away, to throw it away, and I did just that. And after that, he told me to get ready for your daughter. I don't know if I'm having a boy or girl, but this is what he told me. I'll find out on Christmas. We will find out on Christmas. But I clearly heard him tell me to get ready for your daughter. And I've never in my life desired to have a daughter, mainly for, you know, my childhood and me growing up without a dad and not really knowing what the right thing to do or say or anything like that would be when raising a little girl. I had a lot of fear when it came to that. But he feels like I'm ready. And to be honest with you, I would feel, you know, I wouldn't feel differently if I'm having a boy or a girl now, thankfully. When I was pregnant with my 2-year-old, everybody kept saying, oh, I hope it's a girl, I hope it's a girl. And little did they know, I was like, I hope it's not, I hope it's not, because I was not ready. I was not built up to where I am now. Back then, I lacked in so many areas. I lacked boundaries. I lacked, you know, I just lacked in so many ways that was like a big fear of mine, of like, I wouldn't know the first thing to do, you know, if this come up or if that come up or whatever. And then when God told me that, I felt like at peace with the thought of it. So it's like, okay, if this happens, if it is a girl, I'm at peace with the thought of the fact that I would be a sufficient girl mom. And that was just something that I was afraid of, is that I would not be the best girl mom that I could be because of, you know, not really having, no offense to anybody, but not really having like the best examples of how to operate as a woman and within femininity, because, you know, my mom has always been, you know, a strong Black woman, hard worker, and all of those things. And those are great, you know, those are great, great characteristics to have. And during that time, working and providing literally was like the #1 priority, because everyone was operating out of struggle and just trying to survive and trying to raise kids to the best of your ability, raise children, and also a daughter, you know, boys and girls, 4 of them, to the best of your ability, without any guidance, without any examples of how to be a parent, when, you know, you, in my mom's case, did not have her parents to parent her. So, you know, I grew to understand that she did the best that she could with what she had. But that still did not prevent me from having fear of being a girl mom, because I did not want to make any mistakes. So I'm sharing this because I'm sharing it because I just have like a better understanding now, and for where we are headed in life. And to be honest with you, after what I went through with being sick, I honestly feel like this will be our last baby, you know, for one, financially, and for two, you know, I can't keep putting my body through this part of life, you know. I've always desired to be a mom. Literally was a lifelong desire, was to be a mom, to the point that when I was a little girl, I literally would have dreams that I was pregnant and would wake up feeling bloated and feeling like I was pregnant for like 2-3 hours. And then it would go away. But it was literally something that I desired more than anything, was to be a mom and to have the opportunity to be different and to do different. And God has blessed me with that multiple times. And I've learned to be grateful and appreciative in so many ways, more than I thought that I would even be, especially now versus back then, because my relationship with God is so much more clear, so much better. I went through a lot of lost seasons, trying out different things and thinking that these things were more important or better, or, you know, the way, but I've always known the way since I was a little girl. Always had love for God and Jesus, but life always took me away and made me think that these things were not true or were not, you know, a reality. But I had to go through a lot of things for my own disobedience and my own lack of understanding, because nobody really could explain to me or answer the questions that I had when it came to religion. But as an adult now, I have the understanding that, you know, you have to go to the source. Nobody really, you know, people can, but you'll never really understand it the way that you should without having a relationship yourself with God, because people can pray for you all day long. People can want what's best for you all day long. But if God wants your attention and he is trying to get your attention, he is going to make sure that he gets to you, whether that's by removing people out of your life, removing you out of people's life. He's going to make sure that he gets his point across of like, hey, my child, you got free will. I'm letting you go through and figure this stuff out, but I'm here. I've been here. I'm just waiting for you to say when. And it took the longest time. I took the long route. Literally took the longest route possible back to God. And it's literally like, okay, like, here I am. And he's like, I've been here. I've been watching. I'm just letting you do you, boo. Literally letting you do you. Letting you make those mistakes because you don't believe. You think that you in control. You think that you make these decisions. So I'm gonna let you make these decisions. I'm gonna let you choose which way you want to go. And you tell me, did that work for you? Did it work out for you? Did it work out to your plans? And to be honest with you, it never worked out the way that I wanted it to work out. Never. But now that I'm older and I'm back like I never left, he's literally showing me like, you've had access to this all along. You've had the access all along. But I can't force myself on you. I can't force you to know me. I can't force you to claim me. I can't force you to love me, because there's plenty of people who don't love me. Plenty of people who curse my name. Plenty of people who think that they know better, just like you did. And all of those dreams and things that you wanted and thought about when you were younger. You wanted to be a nurse. You wanted to be a doctor. But you took the long route because you wanted to find love, or find this, or find that, or find your own way without me. Not that it's a punishment. It's just a miss blessing. Something that I missed out on because of the decisions that I made. Getting myself in trouble, getting myself a record, blocking me from ever being able, for a long time, to be able to go to nursing school, to be able to go back to college and pursue something more than what I was doing. But during the time where I started, basically taking baby steps, he gave me the idea of, okay, well, go to cosmetology school so you can, have the opportunity to work for yourself, to do these things without worrying about a record, worrying about somebody pulling this stuff up or anything like that. And it wasn't until I got a little older and my child, my at the time, my only son, got in school and realizing that, oh dang, I can't volunteer for a project, a field trip. I can't volunteer to be an in-class, helper. So many things that I didn't realize that I was held back from because of decisions that I made in my early 20s. But it makes me think back, to when my mom shared things with me and all of that stuff. But instead of me being, listening and taking heed to these things, because in my young mind, my immature mind, I was still wanting to have control of my life, of that's not going to happen to me. My life is going to be different, this, and that. But those things still happen. And then, now here I am, 10 years later, and I would still have moments of, oh, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I should be by now. By now, I should be, a registered nurse or a nurse practitioner or something like that. I did go through a portion of time where I would say my mind allowed me to believe that, oh, well, it's a good thing you didn't do that, because during that time I was dealing with anxiety, like extremely bad, social anxiety, extremely bad, and not really understanding, and felt like it was something that I always had, but not understanding that I brought those things onto myself. What am I trying to do? Not understanding that I brought those things onto myself, trying out, basically, I would say, new age religion, being more holistic and things like that, and thinking that that was the way. But it's not. It's not 100% the way. When you do things without God, things won't prosper the way that you would expect it to prosper. things won't be clearer the way that you think that it should be clear, because you're operating under something that's not of God, and thinking that these things are, you know, the universe and all of this stuff. But God, that part. But yeah, so fast forward, I still had things in my house. I still had like crystals and things like that that I just like put away. I still had sage and stuff like that that I was not using. I haven't saged my house since 2000. Was this 2025? Since probably 2021, 2022 or something like that was like the last time I ever saged my house. And I stopped because I didn't feel moved to. Yeah, it was before I got pregnant with my second oldest. And during that time, when I got pregnant with him, that was like the first time I, you know, was dealing with infertility and all of that stuff. And that was the first time I had like prayed and asked God for a baby, because it was placed on my heart to do so. I know I'm like going everywhere. I'm just trying to get it all out, because I was gonna make a separate video about this stuff, but it's just way easier for me to do stuff on live than it is for me to like sit down and record a video. But yeah, for the longest time, confusion was in the mix. And I would say within this last year, I have been hearing God so much more clear. I've been hearing what he's been wanting of me, but I was not being obedient to what he was wanting from me and of me. I was still trying to control. I was still trying to have control. And that's something that I had like the biggest problem with since I was younger, was trying to have control over my life and decisions that I make and things like that. But I'm not in control. Even though I try my best to, you know, always try my best to just be a better person every day. Even though I don't feel like I'm a bad person, I just always felt like that there's more I could be doing. But in the areas of where I felt like I could be doing more, should not have been the focus. Should not have been the focus, especially now that I'm a wife, I'm a mother. You know, my household is and should always be number one. I still always try to make other things fit because of how my heart is. But if it don't fit, don't fit. And those are the things you aren't prepared for when you get older and you become an adult and you grow a family. Those are things that you don't think that you have to consider because you think that things are going to be the way that it has always been, but that's not the reality of growing. Things will change, people will change, you will change, and that's okay. That is okay. But the most important thing that I've learned is to just listen. Listen. Listen to what he wants of me, what he expects. And I've been working on that and asking to just reveal to me what my purpose is, what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And just for him to know that, you know, I'm not gonna do anything outside of what he wants me to do. And that's the truth. It has been hard. It's the hard truth. But that's the truth. He has been telling me to get baptized again. I was baptized when I was 14, but I was still sinning. I got baptized before I ever sinned. I was sinning in my mind, but before I ever intentionally sinned. So I know that I need to redo that. And that's okay. Only thing is, I don't know. I don't know if I should do it after I have the baby or before, but I do know that he's been telling me to do that. I do know that much. So that's next on the list. I know I haven't showed y'all anything that I'm using. And I've just been rambling, running my mouth. Thank God I've been still making progress, because normally I get distracted, I get behind. But from now on, I'm not doing anything without God in it. So if you don't want to hear anything about it, I will not feel bad if you no longer subscribe to my channel. If you no longer want to view my videos or anything like that, because I'm already warning you now that any chance that I get to talk about them, I am going to. So just be prepared.
They're paying for time, FYI.
Okay, I'm almost done. I don't think I'm gonna do blush. Oh shoot. All right. Ooh, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. Way too much. So I'm gonna have to put some blush. This part. Let me put this back on until I get there.
Yeah. Hey. I'm not sure if it's gonna be worth us going. What time is it?
5:30.
Yeah. I don't know how long they got it, but it's by the hour. So
Okay.